We all know what osteoporosis is, and basically with growing population, aging population, the incidence of osteoporosis is also rapidly growing. It is estimated that by 2020, there were almost 200 million people affected worldwide with osteoporosis. But what is the correlation and how is osteoporosis related to spine surgery? You will be amazed to know that 50% of the patients who are going for a planned TILIF, a planned spine surgery, almost 50% of them have osteoporosis. Similarly, 50% of the women who are more than 50 years of age are also suffering from osteoporosis. And we all know the complications which are related to this, like pedicle fractures, pseudoarthrosis, implant failures, PJK, PJF, subsidence, and pedicle screw loosening. Khalid et al. Showed that patients with compromised bone quality were almost 3 times more likely to need revision spine surgeries. Similarly, an AO spine survey done in 2019, the spine surgeons recalled that 80% of them had some complications related to osteoporosis, and 71% had to revise the primary surgery because of osteoporosis. Thus, osteoporosis is fairly common. And who recommends osteoporotic workup in all postmenopausal women, men who are more than 50 years of age, and individuals with metabolic bone disease? We being spine surgeons, we do a thorough preoperative workup. We do a proper history, physical and neurological examination, cardiopulmonary and renal stabilization, and even psychiatric evaluation in a few cases. But what about osteoporotic workup? There was a study which was conducted, a survey of 133 spine surgeons. After a low energy vertebral fracture, only 60% of the spine surgeons did a DEXA scan. Prior to an instrumented fusion, approximately 44%. And even worse, before addressing pseudoarthrosis, osteoporosis being one of the most common causes of pseudoarthrosis, only 19%. We all know there are many benefits of an osteoporotic workup. A staggering 66.4% of spine surgeons would modify the surgical strategy if they know that the patient is suffering from osteoporosis. They will keep cement augmented screws and even go long for their fixations if they know this preoperatively. So that is a problem statement. Osteoporosis is fairly routine in spine surgery. Operating on such patients increases the rate of complications. Preoperative workup can modify the intraoperative plan, but there's a huge gap in the translation of research into clinical practice. And how do we bridge this gap? It is only by preemptive osteoporotic workup and identifying the risk factors in these patients. We all know the non-medical treatment, prevention is always better than cure. Right from the first, building bone mass, especially in young age, nutritious diet rich in calcium with weight-bearing exercises gives a variance of almost 20% in the bone mass density. Optimizing patients before spine surgery, smoking cessation, and limiting alcohol intake also goes a long way. Now, medical treatment. How does medicines work in relation to spine surgery? We all know there is calcium, vitamin supplementations, bisphosphonates, denosumab, teriparatide, and romosozumab, the new kid on the block which is now available. But how are they related to spine surgery if we give it preoperatively? That is what we need to know. Calcium in standby alone has no role in fracture prevention. However, when it is supplemented with vitamin D, it has been shown to reduce the fracture prevalence. Now, coming to vitamin D, again, 47% of the patients who are undergoing spine surgery are actually deficient in vitamin D, and vitamin D has been shown to prolong, if they are deficient, they are shown to prolong time to achieve spine fusion. Bisphosphonates, if given preoperatively, there's lack of consensus on the utility in optimizing patients undergoing spine surgery. Denosumab, similarly, the standalone denosumab has no role in improving spine fusion. However, combination therapy with teriparatide does work. Teriparatide is the only anabolic agent which increases the bone mass and has been shown to reduce pedicle screw loosening. Romosozumab, it inhibits sclerostin, has both anabolic as well it stimulates the osteoblast as well as inhibits the osteoclast. It promotes rapid bone formation and has been shown that it increases bone formation better than teriparatide even in some studies, and has been recommended for optimizing patients before spine surgery. Surgical technique modifications will all know: longer screws, broader screws, cement augmented screws, under-tapping, avoiding hubbing, bicortical purchase, and last, good surface area with decortication. The Congress of Neurological Surgeons did a systematic review and addressed that the DEXA scan should be done in patients who require spine surgery, and a preoperative anabolic agent should be considered for at least 4 to 6 weeks before the surgery. Thus, the take-home message is osteoporosis is fairly common, preemptive treatment of osteoporosis is necessary, modification of surgical technique reduces the complications, and preoperative assessment and technique with anabolic agents, teriparatide as well as nowadays romosozumab for at least 4 to 6 weeks is recommended. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ruparel.